Hello guys, PrinceofMacedon here, doing a commentary video for Napoleon Total War multiplayer. I command the French, and my opponent is Tomboe in command of the British. We will look at my French army first, and I'm going to let you read it. There we go. And as you can see, I didn't bring any artillery. Now let's go look at my opponent's Great Britain army. He has tons of melee infantry, and then he has a spam of 4 rocket troops. And this is actually my second battle against Tomboe. In the first battle, he spammed horses, so when I fought him this time, I was expecting another easy battle, but this time he changed up his build and he spammed rockets. So this would be a little bit more challenging. Anyways, I'm going to march, and it seems like every time I form my guys up into column at the beginning, my opponent always seems to have a spam of artillery. And I'm going to show you the first minute of my advance, just so that you can see the barrage that one player takes when the other person spams rockets. So we're going to see the damage of rocket spam up close. So right here is a nice little barrage.
Our general is under attack.
Yes, my general is under attack. And actually my whole army is under attack. So I got to give props to my advisor for being half correct. And so you can see I'm forming my guys into line, because being in column is not a good thing, especially when your opponent has so much rockets. Alright, so you can see my opponent actually deployed his troops all the way in the back, and that was to take advantage of his rocket spam. And now I'm going to give you a bug's eye view of the rockets. They actually look kind of pretty, and it's a lot prettier when they're going the opposite direction. So I'm going to just keep marching forward, and I'm going to do a time elapse here. And at this point in the battle, you can see that I'm already past the halfway mark on the minimap. I am the red dot on the minimap, and my opponent is the blue dot on the minimap. So yeah, I'm well past the halfway mark right now. And I'm very close to exchanging a small arms fire with my opponent. And my opponent's name is kind of funny, Tomboe, because every time I thought of his name, I was thinking of Tongpo from the movie Kickboxer. That's the guy who was kicking one of these things with his bare feet. But here's a close-up of my opponent's rocket troops. They look kind of ridiculous, actually. And historically speaking, the rockets were never this accurate. There was a very funny episode of Sharp, where the rockets, they would miss every single thing, so Sharp thought they were pretty useless. So instead of using them as rocket troops, he actually just put them on their horses, and he made them carry their rockets so that they looked like lancers. And he used those guys to scare off the French. I forgot which episode that was, but it was a very entertaining episode, as usual. Alright, so we are finally exchanging small arms here. And by that, I'm not saying that, we're trading elbows or anything. We're actually just trading musket fire. And my opponent has no skirmishers. He was intending for his rockets to keep my guys away. And for a while they were, but after a steady advance, in which I never stopped, I was finally close enough to use my skirmishers to advantage here. That said, my opponent did close the distance with my skirmishers so that he is in range of all my troops right now. And supposedly the British troops, they have a very good rate of fire. So in a stand-up, shoot 'em up fight like this, the British have a very solid chance of knocking your troops back. Yes, some of my troops are running, and some of them are flying, apparently. And those are my voltigeurs, and they have had enough of this rocket mayhem. So, what do you do when you don't know what to do? Well, when in doubt, send in the horses. So here come my lancers and my cuirassiers. So I'm going to let them taste the hairs on my horses, which now that I think about it, sounds kind of gross. But I'm not going to delete my commentary this time. I'm just gonna go with it. And I am shooting some of my horses, but that is acceptable. Yeah, just think of it as a form of radical training while on the job. And some of my guys are actually breaking. That's how effective these British foot units are. And as for my horses, they're doing a pretty good job here, knocking down these British foot units. And my horsemen will probably hate me after the battle. That is, if they live long enough to hold a grudge. But yeah, this is my opponent's first line of defense. Once I get past these British foot units, all I have to deal with left are his fencibles, and his fencibles are positioned right in front of his rockets. So basically, his whole army is one giant support unit for his rockets. And to me, that's a very obscene concept. And it should be said that most people will ban fixed artillery in games, and rockets are considered fixed artillery. And in this case, my opponent spammed 4 units of those guys, but that was my fault for joining a no-rules battle. But I think it's kind of fun going up against this kind of obscenity. In any case, I'm going to pretty much just run forward here, and here there's a little time elapsed, but what you missed was me shooting down his horses. And so with that slight delay in my advance, I'm going to continue the push forward here, and I'm going to go right at his fencibles. And all the meanwhile, his rockets are shooting non-stop. They've been shooting non-stop since the very beginning of the battle. So here come my my Fusiliers. They must be really tired right now after all this running, especially having to run all the way to the opposite end of the battlefield here. So his fencibles are now shooting at my guys, and he probably thinks I'm going to stop to shoot at him, but I'm just going to keep moving forward here. I'm going to run into his guys, and I'm just going to pretty much just wind my hand back and then slap them in the face. So this is me slapping his fencibles in the face, and we're going to see how long they last against my Fusiliers. It shouldn't be too long, because fencibles, they don't want to be here. They're pretty much just militia units. And you can see all those blinking British flags in the back. Those are his fencibles trying to leave the battlefield. And it shouldn't be that hard to leave the battlefield, considering he's at the very edge of the battlefield already. And look at those rocket troops. They are very obedient, firing to the last second. There's a close-up of my lancers, giving the lance to those fencibles. And there we've finally taken the last unit of rockets. And that is the end of the battle. Anyways, there's the results. I guess a good game to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle on the grassy flatlands.